you'll probably walk out in disgust halfway through. No, what we're going to do here today is we're going to hang out. They're going to bring the pizza in a little while. But we're going to hang out. We're going to tell a few stories, answer a bunch of questions. Everybody gets a photo op later on and all the bullshit. I'll wash your car if I have time.
Good, mine needs it.
Is that actually, they asked you to move your car earlier, right? It wasn't double parked, it was just a hunk of shit. That's what, I got to tell you, before we get started, the evil layout, that reminds me of something. Fucking Star Maker Bolin, right? It was like 2.5 years ago. Burt Prentice in Jackson, Tennessee. He's running Jackson. He's got TV down there, and he runs the Coliseum, the old Memphis wrestling home there. And he booked Jerry Lawler versus Terry Funk, right? 35 years later, because their big angle program was in 1981. It's like 2016. 35 years later, Lawler and Funk. And I called Bolin. I said, we got to go, you and me, like we used to. Because when Lawler wrestled Funk in 81, we'd go to Memphis, and we'd make Louisville, obviously, and then we'd go. Everywhere Terry Funk was, we would go, because that was the greatest match we'd ever seen. So I said, you and me will drive down there, we'll go to Burt's show, we'll just be fans. I'm not even going to get booked on it, I just want to watch the match. Well, within 30 minutes, he's called me back, and I always got to fucking tell everybody everything's going to go on, right? So he's called this shyster attorney in Louisville. I won't mention any names, but imagine if it was your lawyer, but when other lawyers from the courthouse across the street are calling your office, you're telling your secretary, tell him I'm out of the country. That's the kind of lawyer. So he says, Tim is going to bring his limo so we can all ride down. So now it's gone from me and Bolin to me and Bolin, Tim, another attorney, and Bolin's fucking leech, useless, good-for-nothing, lazy, decrepit son, who until he was 16 years old, his head was so much fucking larger than the rest of his body that he kind of walked sideways. And so now it's this whole group of us. I said, all right, but at least, he said, we don't have to get a hotel, which means I don't have to pay for a hotel. Bolin ain't gonna pay attention, much less anything else. He said, we don't have to get a hotel, we can go down there and back, the professional driver in the limo will be comfortable, and we'll, and plus he wants to look like a big deal. All right, we'll go in the limo. So I go over to Bolin's house that day, about 11 o'clock in the morning, because it's 5.5 hours down the road to Jackson, so I get there, I said, where's this limousine? He said, hey, he'll be right here, he just called. Front of the fucking parking lot, pulls up this goddamn limousine from 1986. It was like a Lincoln Continental limousine. It was a stretch limousine, but it was so old, it was one of those things that had like the boomerang phone antenna on the trunk. And I look, and it's missing a goddamn hubcap. And now, the attorneys, one of them is, at the time, he was 320 pounds. And the other attorney is, I'm the smallest guy in here, because Bolin's kid is fucking enormous, and Kenny at the time was clocking in about 460. So we're all giant men, and the driver is bigger than me too, right? So there's a lot of beef in this car. So we go to get in the back door, right? They said, no, we're around the other one. Why? Well, that door doesn't open. So now, it's a full-size limousine, but you got the 460-pound man, the 320-pound man, that at the time I was 240 and I was a small one, and the other attorney, so we put Catbox, Bolin's kid, and we named him that because his job to pay rent was he had to clean the Catbox out in the basement. Catbox is in the front with the driver, right? So we get in the one door that opens, and we get in our plane. Of course, Kenny has got to get right in front of the one good door that opens, right? So now, imagine a limo door when it's open, it's about however big around. Kenny is exactly the same size as this. So it's almost like when he tries to get out the door, we got to put our feet and fucking shove him this way. And he's like a piece of human cholesterol blocking the passagerial artery to get out of this fucking thing. So we're driving down the interstate, and I said, it's a little stuffy. And they turn the air up. Well, we find out because this is the B limousine. he actually rented out the good limousine to a client, right? So it's stuffy as turn the air up. The air will blow just fine, but it ain't cooling. It ain't fucking Freon. So now we look like 4 fucking hogs at Martin's barbecue being roasted over the fucking pit. So I got the window cracked. As long as we're moving, we got some air coming in. And, you know, and Kenny's fucking 24-hour deodorant quit after 6. So then we get on the interstate, we're driving down the road, and every time this fucking guy hits a pothole, I mean, do the math. We got 3,000 pounds in this thing. The limo is bottoming out every time we hit a little bump. So I feel like I'm taking it up the ass. So we go a little further, and we got to stop and piss, right? But also, 5.5 hours, I'm fucking like this now, even in this full-size limousine, and it's fucking sweaty. So every couple hours, we'll stop and get out, stretch my butt. Now Bolin's mad. What the fuck? What's the size of your bladder? He don't want to have to take the physical effort to get out of the goddamn, because nobody can escape until he gets out, right? So he's got to get out every time we want to piss or walk or whatever. And finally, we get down here, we eat lunch, and we get to the fucking Coliseum. And he parks it in the back, and of course it's got Kentucky plates on it. We're down in West Tennessee. So we go in, I'm talking to Dundee, and there's Burt Prentice, and Danny Davis came by, and a bunch of the old guys, and then here comes Lawler. And that's what Lawler said. Say, is that y'all's limousine out there with the Kentucky plates? You need to move it. It's not anybody's way, it just looks like a piece of shit. So then we get out of there and we go to Wendy's, and of course now they're closed. So we have to go to the drive-through window. So this limousine opens up the window, drive-through. And they hands all the shit back, and we eat, and we're driving, and now we lose an hour going back to Louisville. So we leave at 11, but it's already 12 in Louisville. And we're gonna be till 5 in the morning. So we're driving along, and everybody's talking, and finally Kenny starts, because he's got the fucking sleep apnea anyway. He starts nodding off, and then one of the lawyers starts nodding off, and then the other lawyer starts nodding, and I'm thinking, but here's the thing. Everybody's nodding off. This goddamn chauffeur has been up since we left, and now I'm gonna go to sleep. I've never met this fucking guy. My wife has never met this guy. So I'm kind of looking, and I'm riding backwards. So I'm looking over my shoulder with my bad neck, keeping an eye on him, and then Catbox nods off. Now I see this fucking, every once in a while the car's going this way. Yeah, I see the chauffeur, and the car's guy, I'm like, hey buddy, all right? You know, oh yeah, I'll be okay, let me just. And he stops a couple of times so we can get out and walk. He can get out and walk around, which I'm encouraging. And finally, we get back to Louisville, right? And we get off the interstate, and it's literally 3.5 miles from the interstate exit to Kenny's house. And it's 5:30 in the morning. We pull down, we turn left, we're right in front of General Electric Appliance Park. We're like literally 1/4 mile from Kenny's house. As he turns on, he's, oh shit. I hear all shit. All shit is being called. Just then, every fucking light on the dashboard comes on. Red light, yellow light, fucking, and we come to a stop. We had filled up with gas in Jackson. It's approximately 305 miles. So this is a giant gas tank, right? But did I mention we had 6,000 pounds? So it is literally, we have run out of gas 1/4 mile from where we're going, flat in the middle of this guy at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning on a Sunday, in front of Appliance Park. And they're open all the time. And I said, boys, in 15 minutes, because we're sitting in the middle of the road, and there's not a fucking soul in sight, there's not a squirrel. I said, in 15 minutes, that motherfucker's going to let out, and the new shift is going to be coming, and we're in the way. And Kenny says, Chris, get my keys and go walk to the fucking, to my apartment and get my car and bring it back over here. I said, you know what, that's a good idea, I'll go with you, right? And one of the lawyers decides he's going to go too, leaves Tim and Star Maker sitting there with the chauffeur. And of course, Tim, the lawyer, is cussing the chauffeur out now because he's a fucking idiot. And as I get my shit, this is so fucking funny at this point. I'm just happy to be out of this goddamn nightmare. And I'm walking happy, right? And we're walking to Kenny's apartment, and Tim looked at Kenny and said, do you think Cornette's coming back? And Kenny said, I don't think we're ever going to see him again. So naturally, we get to fucking Kenny's apartment, and they're getting his car to go back or whatever, and I'm getting in my car saying, thanks for the experience, boys. I'll see you. So I go home. What happened was, the limo also had one of those deals where you can't get in the fucking, it got the lock on the gas thing or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. So they're trying to get a stick and pry the thing open. And they got a, Kenny brings the car, but they can't leave the limousine sitting out in the middle of the fucking road. So Kenny's son brings the car over so that he can drive one of them to get the fucking gas at the gas station. But first they got to buy a gas can and get the, and they get just, as soon as they get a gallon of gas in that limousine and start it up, here comes the fucking shift out of it. Here comes the people coming in for the new shift, and they just get out in the nick of time. But they had made fun of me because I always bring my bag with me, right? With all, anything that you might need when you're on a trip and some toiletries and everything. And while they were trying to pry into the gas tank, fucking Tim said to Kenny, said, if we just had a fucking pin or a screwdriver or whatever, and whatever it was, I had just been talking about how I had those things in my bag, but I was gone and asked me. So finally they got out of there about 7 o'clock in the morning. They got over to the side again, blah, 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 and get the fuck out of there. And that's how you take a limo ride with. But what made me think of it was just the fact that your car looks like a hunk of shit.